Fridays with Arola segment tonight. Russia invading Ukraine. Earlier today, Secretary of State John Kerry met with the Russian foreign minister in London to try to head things off.
I was clear with Foreign Minister Lavrov that the president has made it clear there will be consequences if Russia does not find a way to change course. And we don't say that as a threat. We say that as a direct consequence of the choices that Russia may or may not choose to make here.
Of course, it is a threat. But at this point, the Russians are not backing down. The referendum vote will be held on Sunday, and the Crimea will very likely be taken away from Ukraine. With us now, Fox News correspondent Geraldo Rivera. So all this talk, they have to do it. You have to talk to them. But they're going to take the phony vote. They got 20,000 troops in Crimea, and they're going to take Crimea away from Ukraine. That's what they're going to do.
Well, the first phase, the phony vote, and it is a phony vote. Yeah. We know how it's preordained. You have Russian troops everywhere. But they could win it without a single Russian trooper in there. You could get a vote in the Ukraine to separate, to secede from the rest of Ukraine.
Can I stop you right there? You can vote in about 150 countries all over the world to join the United States. That doesn't mean anything. All right, boundaries are boundaries, borders are borders. All right, so it doesn't mean anything. They illegally invaded the country, and they're going to take it, the Crimea. Go ahead.
They are violating international law. There's no doubt they are tampering and interfering. All that is true. But I was in Kosovo, remember, when Serbia was making complaints similar to the complaints Ukraine is making now about losing Crimea. Serbia was complaining about losing Kosovo. Kosovo, they were ethnic Albanian, mostly Muslim. They didn't want to be part of Serbia, a Slavic Orthodox nation. We backed Kosovo when they seceded from Serbia. So Putin is using that as the example to say, wait a second, what about Kosovo and Serbia? Now you're complaining about Crimea and Ukraine. But here, we
didn't send any troops.
We did. Well, okay. We bombed Serbia. We did
only because of the ethnic cleansing.
All I'm saying is
you can't make those comparisons.
There is a parallel bill, whether we like it or not. But let me just advance the conversation. The vote happens on Sunday. Then I believe that's when crunch time comes. What happens with Ukraine? Ukraine has made a purported declaration of independence. Internationally, nobody has to recognize that vote. Certainly Ukraine doesn't have to recognize that vote. The real peril comes when Putin and Russia say, now that Crimea has said they are independent, we are annexing Crimea and becoming part of Russia. That is an act of war. That is an act of absolute violation of every norm, every protocol, the United Nations Charter, and everything else. All bets are off. Here's what has to happen in my view. Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, has now gone on record in very, very straightforward terms this morning saying this is a threat to Germany, this act threatening military intervention in the rest of Ukraine. This is a threat to the European Union. And moreover, I promise you, says Angela Merkel, we're not talking about John Kerry. We're talking about the German chancellor who's on the border, with Poland and Russia there. She's the one that really has the giant economic interest here. She says that this will be a catastrophe for Russia, economically and politically. So now we have Germany. We have to get France, the United Kingdom, and the United States standing united with the rest of Europe against Russia, saying, what you're doing now, Mr. Putin, it may feel good. You may be getting off your macho rocks here, saying that, look at Crimea, they have now voted independence. But I'm telling you, Mr. Putin, whatever happens with the Crimeans, we're telling you specifically, you, Mr. Putin, that this is going to be a catastrophe for you, for your oligarchs, for your system.
You have to do something.
Here's what you're going to do. And then I think Kerry has made this clear. We are going to crunch them economically. Look at the Russian oligarchs. The guy owns the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
You've got half of Savile Row in London. You've got those Central Park South condos going $50, $60, $70 million. You tell them, no visas for you guys. You Russian high rollers, you can no longer come to these free countries. You are banned. Not only that, we immediately release the restrictions on the export of U.S. natural gas to Europe. We say the United States will now be a major provider of natural gas. You get that going. It takes a while to get it up and running. Still, you announce it and get it going. And you tell them everywhere. Now, Russia is not part of any of our G8. Forget about G8. It's going to be G7. Russia is not going to be a player in the world economy anymore. We'll hurt the world economy. We'll hurt American interests in many cases, but mostly it will hurt and isolate
You got to
Russia.
do one more step. You got to say you cannot. All U.S. financial institutions cannot accept rubles.
Agreed.
Any business in rubles.
Good one.
Okay, it is a good one because that guts their currency.
How about this one? You immediately send military transport planes to Kiev carrying U.S. special operator trainers for the Ukraine forces. Ukraine can't match Russia tank to tank. But you can say we are going to train. We're going to train your unconventional warriors. We are showing you that we want you to be prepared to protect your country.
He won't do that last one. That's too provocative for him.
It's a defensive measure.
Next week is crunch time. They have to do something, they being Germany, United States, UK, and France. Have to. All right, Geraldo Rivera.